right, we're gonna do something a little different this time. A little different. I got my magnetic pots. Now there's a little something about these magnetic pots while we get started here. And as you probably know, this breakfast is a frittata. Now, it's gonna look a lot like the fajita that I made in the last video. And there's a reason for that, because the fajita that I made in the last video was not a fajita at all. It was a frittata. Fajita, frittata, let's call the whole thing off. I had to do it. All right, so I contacted the company about these pans. I said, I'm very upset. I need a lid for that pot. Everything I do needs a lid, and that's my go-to pot. They answered right away. They answered right away, and they said, we're sorry. We understand what you're saying, but that pot doesn't come with a lid. You could probably find a lid somewhere else. I said, the next problem I have is it's not all that easy to clean this pot. They recommended some bartender's cleaner or whatever the heck it is. I'm okay with that. If that'll work, I don't mind doing that. But I need a lid for this thing. The other thing that everybody commented about that I didn't think of, and I should have, was the Magma nested pot set. Come on, you get the whole set in the footprint of one. Where was I? Where was my thinking? I screwed up on that one. Anyway, we're gonna do something a little different today with this getup. Now, if you just wait 1 second, I've gotta go and rinse out this pepper. All right, I'm back. I'm gonna get everything sliced and diced, and when I get that done, I'll bring you back and we'll get started. Huh? How about that? I saved you the pain and suffering of watching me slice and dice this stuff, because I know you don't like the way I do it. But now we're ready to cook. It's a nice van. Yeah, I know, my van. Cabinets. The galley cabinets, white acrylic, are designed with sliding doors. Sliders are easier to open and close repeatedly than a hinged door, and these galley cabinets will get a lot of use. The long stainless steel bar handles require less dexterity than a knob, and they look really sharp. The rear shelf is wrapped and holding its test window covers just fine. I began by hanging these hinged down, as I said. And I did not like that, because what happens is when you bring this down, especially if you're 5'8" or less, it gets in your way. I didn't like the way that works, so I'm gonna have them hinging up, and I'll get some very light duty gas struts. I'm trying to come up with a solution where I don't use any kind of a support strut or armature in here, because that takes away from your storage space and your access. And you know, you may think that is negligible, but when the entire opening, you know, if I'm taking away 1 inch on each side, that's 2 inches on an 18 or a 20-inch cabinet. That's a lot that I'm giving up. So I've been playing with spring hinges and certain things inside here. I've got a rubber bumper on both leading edges of these cabinets, galley and here. And your head may thank me at some point in the future. Getting up, you shouldn't. The way I got this situated, you shouldn't hit your head, but you may. Underneath, we're thunder gray plexi with our puck lights. These are the task lights, and there's switches here. One switch will control these two. The other switch will control a rope light that's back here. Same thing on the other side. So if you, this van is geared for a couple, for 2 people. So for instance, this futon couch, this would be one section and that's another section, and you've got dedicated controls to each section. This is the inside of my wall cabinets. I wanted to just show you how this is going to work. This is a stand-in piece of plywood. This is 1/2-inch plywood. I may use the 1/2-inch. I may use a 1/4-inch Luan. I'm not sure yet. This would certainly be gutsy. But the point I want to show you here is that the way I've designed this, you've got a false floor in here. So I've got all this access space under here for my wires, my Wago connections, all my switch wires. Each of these cabinets has access under the floor of the cabinet. This is the plexi that's underneath the Thunder Gray. So again, stand in, but you get an idea. This floor, cabinet floor, is going to be removable. It's either going to be Velcroed in place or maybe with a couple of thumb screws, but you'll be easily take it out. While it's in there, it hides all my bolts and mountings. So this is going to work out really well. And I think what I'll do once I finish this plywood shelf, I get it all cut to size, I'm going to put some non-skid on the entire floor of this wall cabinet, because you don't want your stuff zipping around in the cabinet while you're driving. 6. We're running on 6 to get this oil heated. So I spoke to the company about these pots. I sent them an email after our last video, and I told them, oh, look at this already. I told them, now I know from all you viewers, I can pick this up and move it around and do what I have to do. Thank you. I emailed the company. I said, I'm very upset. This is my go-to pot for a lot of stuff.
And you didn't provide me with a lid. I'm using the lid from the big macaroni pot. She replies, I'm sorry, we do not provide a lid for this pan. I said, you gotta be kidding me. I said, the second problem I have is it doesn't clean very well. So she recommended some bartender's stuff, some kind of bartender's cleaner. I'm okay with that. I don't mind that. If that's gonna do the job, I'll work with that. But the other problem that I'm embarrassed that I didn't think of, but my viewers did, was I should have got the Magma nested set. All the pots are nested within the shape of one footprint. My bad.
It's finally time to put those wall templates to use. You remember those templates? I had Angry George working on them back in September. As long as you keep that paper where it belongs, I'm running this crayon right along that edge. Now this is step 1. Don't forget, I'm going to be putting this onto cardboard. And at that point, I get to refine it a little further. So I transferred my paper measurements to cardboard, and I cut that out. This is my template, and these panels will give you an idea of what it would be like at nighttime when we want to go dark for sleeping, watching a movie, too hot out, too cold out. I'll use these as my templates to make those covers. I'm transferring this shape from the cardboard to a 1/4-inch sheet of Luan plywood. Now this angle here on the window is not the same angle as what's here and here. These are parallel. That one is not. That one swings out a little towards the front. This one is also at an angle towards the front. I'm bringing it back out there to check because I have to make sure that my 2 cuts on 2 separate templates and 2 separate pieces of paneling are parallel here. I'm going to seam them in the middle. This is where these 2 are going to meet, right in the middle. So these cut edges have to be parallel, and this level up here, that is square right across. They're at the same height. So I need to make sure that this level of the cutout and this level of the cutout are at the same distance down from the cabinet. this one became personal. So I got my panels pretty much the way I want them. I'm happy with these. They're about 80% of the way there. As far as cut, fitment, the way they line up with one another. You know, I spoke about levels and parallels and angles. So everything is good. It's to my liking. I'm happy with it. And this whole point here, the design, the whole point of this design, this panel will fit and fasten right up against the rear of the galley. And that gives you a nice deep pocket all the way down for your window covers, here and here and there and there. So again, like I said, everything in a van has to have a place. So that's what we have here. Yeah, this fits very well. This is good. And then I'm going to put a little strip LED inside there for your nighttime with the dimmer. You got your task lights, and then you'll have a nice mood light. It's going to be nice. So remember what I said, I'm white on the top. The whole crown of the van, the top umbrella is white. This section, this midsection, dove gray. Then on the bottom, all around, thunder gray or dark gray. So this is very much like Ansel Adams' zone system. You've got your whites, your middle gray, your dark grays. And I've got a dark gray floor coming where you see the depth and the little subtle hint of color that's in this floor. It's beautiful. That's where you pick up your accent colors. The futon is a sky blue cover at this point. There's a little hint of a sky blue fleck in the floor. There's some warm flecks in there. So you've got a lot of options in here. The other advantage to doing these panels the way I'm doing them is they come right out. Now, there's no reason to remove these. There's nothing behind here that you would need to get to, but maybe you get tired of dove gray. Maybe you don't believe in the zone system, although I can't imagine. But you may want to change the dove gray. Panels will come right out. You change it, put it back. Options. I did finally get a nice stainless steel bolt to put in my ceiling straps, ceiling gussets, ceiling struts. I don't know what you want to call them. I've called them every name in the book, but you know what I'm talking about. And it's a really nice stainless steel Phillips tapered bolt with a decorative washer. And I like it. You know, this van is I can't get these eggs open. This van is very delicate, very beautiful. There's a lot of subtle nuance in there. So I think this bolt, as beautiful as it is, it kind of butches things up a little bit. It offers balance. And that's what we need. If you're a decorator like I am, you need to offer balance. So that's what I'm doing. 7 is rocking and rolling here. The next thing I want to talk about is the fan. I made a nice little trim ring for the fan up front because I don't like the way they come. Any of the fans, they come with this cheap plastic surround shroud. I just happen to have one right here that I can show you. See? It does the job. You know, you cut the hole, you slide this, you cut it, you slide it in, everybody's happy. But I'm not happy. I don't think this is very becoming of a van of this caliber. So I made a nice little trim ring out of my white marine vinyl. It's special. And I like it. Here's what I thought. I thought that I might wrap the marine vinyl all the way around the plastic shroud as well and let that tuck up in there. And that would have been a nice finished look, right? Very special. But you're up in here. You've got your hands in here. You're pushing buttons. You're turning this. You're opening that. It's going to get dirty. It's going to get worn. And it's not going to be that easy to clean or to replace if it went all the way up into the shroud. So I keep it down here. It's going to last longer. It's not going to get dirty. And if need be, 4 screws, the whole thing comes down. Come on, get out of there. Don't you. I did it again. I burnt them. I can't believe this. The top looks okay, nice and fluffy, just like the viewer said. I put the heat down, I got fluffy eggs, but the bottom burned. I gotta work on this. Cholula. Cholula makes everything right in the world. Same as last time, consistent. That's me, thorough and consistent. I think I got hash browns in here, and I don't know how they got in there.